Today we have what I would call a really cold day. First snow of the month this morning, and I went outside to take a walk. That was incredible. Now let's get started with that day. So cold today that I really had to show you guys outside. It's incredible here in Montreal. These streets right behind me, they were full of leaves, full of color weeks ago, and now they're like kind of empty. Incredible. We've got some ice. It's really hard to speak in this weather. Alright, so now back to business. One topic I wanted to explore today is, do traders use fundamentals whenever they trade? I think this is a topic that I get a lot of questions about, and people might have doubt as to whether they should use fundamentals or not. So I'll tell you guys my honest opinion at the end, but first I want to go back on a few podcasts and share with you guys what my guests thought of that question.
First thing, let me just say, is totally irrelevant to anybody listening to this. So it should be, if anything, merely a curiosity, but anything I say should be totally irrelevant to you, because your particular natural inclinations may be totally, and are probably quite different, and they could be totally different. But what my particular trading style, and it has evolved. So I started out as a pure fundamentalist. I'm now a pure technician. There was a point in my career where I thought that I wanted to be purely systematic to remove emotions, but I subsequently discovered that I had a problem with that, because to be purely systematic, you must follow the system, and that means sometimes taking losses where you don't know really how large the loss is, because you don't know exactly where the system will give you the reverse.
You know, when the price is moving against the fundamentals, that's on trade. And so that was the moment where I started switching my focus on technicals, solely technicals, over to trading the fundamentals. And that was the moment when I started really making progress. And on every week, like, I'd see my results improve. And it was quite fast improvement. And it was literally like night and day. Like, I'd spent all this time trying to trade technicals, going around in circles. As soon as I started to apply the fundamentals, it was like, the missing piece.
There are very much different traders in the world, right? So I think that the idea is to find your own edge. There are long-term traders, there are short-term traders, there are day punters, there are interest rate traders, FX traders, equity traders, there are quant traders, there are model traders. Everyone is different, but everyone might have started in a similar path as a traineeship under a mentor.
I don't have a lot of trading setup, so there are only a few markets which I will focus on at any one point in time. Mm-hmm. So once price has really come to a desired level of mine, and it gives me a signal to go long or go short, I'll just take the trade accordingly. So everything is just basically highlighted ahead in time, right? So basically when the week starts, I know which markets to give my attention to. Yeah.
Well, I always look at the chart in one way. I look at it in terms of a cycle, market cycle. Trend, trading range, trend, trading range, trend, trading range. Mm-hmm. And then when it's in trends, when it's in a trend mode, let's say a bull trend, there are two parts to it. There's the breakout phase initially, where the market is going relentlessly up, and then you get a pullback. And that pullback is the start of a channel phase. And during the channel phase, the market is transitioning. Bulls are taking profits, and the deeper the pullbacks, the stronger the bears are, the less convicted, the less committed the bulls are, and eventually the channel evolves into a trading range. So during the breakout phase, let's say a bull breakout, I'm only buying. When it enters a channel, if the channel is very tight, I'm only buying, because a tight channel is a breakout on a higher time frame. And if the pullbacks start to overlap the breakout points, in other words, if the market starts to stair step up, then I can see traders are making money selling above bars and scaling in higher. And when I see that, I know the market's becoming increasingly two-sided, and I start to do that as well. My general rule is this: if the market's in a trend, it has a pullback, and then the trend has a pullback. Every one of those pullbacks is an attempt to reverse the trend. Mm-hmm. 80% of trend reversal attempts fail, but when the market's in a trading range, it races up to the top, races down to the bottom. 80% of those breakout attempts fail. So that's my 80% rule.
Should you be using fundamentals? Well, in my opinion, the answer is no. I don't use fundamental myself, and I came across a video maybe a year ago. I'll put the link right below this video. Really awesome. And the basic topic behind that video was trade like you backtest. If you were looking at fundamentals when you were backtesting, do the same when you trade live. If you are not looking at it, don't look at them when you trade live. Otherwise, you're defeating the purpose of your methodology and your process you should follow on a daily basis. So my opinion is simple. You trade like you backtest. Everything you do when you backtest should be reflected in your live trading. And if not, you can always adjust things and tweak things. But there's absolutely no need to add confirmation from a fundamental factor based on how you feel at the moment. If you need confirmation, you're not going to find it in trading. Even though you want to believe you can have confirmation from a fundamental piece of data, you're never going to have it. And that's something you have to understand from the start. So I hope this has been useful for you guys. I definitely had my share of trying to learn from the news and trying to look at fundamental data. But over time, I got to understand that it doesn't make any sense, for me at least. Like the video if you liked it today. Comment with your thought, your question. I want to hear them all the time. I'm going to do my best to help you out as always. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next video.